Live. And we're here on Adam on
We're
the
here.
Eve. We're here, and here's the funny thing.
What's funny, Stephen?
Adam has changed sex, as you can tell. He looks like Vicky.
Oh, wait, let me
So,
put my. I have a
there you
beard.
go. There you go. You have your beard.
There you go.
So Adam will be
Hello.
joining us. Adam is in Greece, as you all know, so things happen. I'm sure he'll be here shortly.
There could be a volcano. We don't know.
Could be it's true. It could be a volcano. It could be a lot of things. It could be an overthrow of the government. But anyway, so we were talking before the show went live about dating apps and how Vicky is desperately looking for a midget for a husband. She's going to Korea, and how David found his wife from the Amazon. So we're discussing this. So
we're the opposite.
Yeah, but talk about what you were saying. You guys were talking about what's in the dating apps and why they're so different. I thought that was fascinating.
No, we're not going to talk about anything now. We're all embarrassed.
Now you're all shy. Okay, I don't want to be rude, but we're live, so you better be talking about something. So Vicky, tell us, when you said you were going through dating apps in Texas. What do the guys in Texas do in the dating apps that just drive you nuts?
So Dave and I were talking, and he said that over there was lots of pictures of women with dogs. Right. That was like the overall theme.
Yes, that's what they were sending me. You know, like.
Or some of the women are dogs. Could go either way.
No. I wouldn't go so far as to say that.
I would. I have no problem with that. I don't really care. But, put your comments below.
I just
hate them, not us.
That's right.
Just to sort of give a little bit of backstory before Vicky tells us about dating apps in Texas. I met my current partner on a dating app.
And his partner's female, by the way, just so we're clear.
Yeah. And we've both kind of given up about, finding anybody. So it was all quite jolly. And when we first met, and I said to her, well, what were you getting then? What sort of things? And she said, well, yeah, you get the odd dick pic. But I said, but mostly, she said, it's men leaning on cars, half naked, or on a motorbike, or whatever. And I said, well, what did that do for you? She said, well, nothing. So yeah. And then of course then we have Vicky to add to that.
Wait, stop. Before we go to Vicky, what was your pick? What were you doing? That looked at you and went, there's my little stud muffin.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. I just sent this sort of Brad Pitt imitation. And
I'm sorry. Can you repeat that one more time, please?
I just said to her that inside of this extremely fat body there is Brad Pitt who's trying to be released.
Okay.
And so and the crazy thing is, the crazy thing is that she'd had some very, very bad experiences on the app. Guy ended up stalking her and all sorts of horrible stuff. So she was incredibly wary, and me being me and my written Dutch being so poor, I just put this letter in like, hello, this is me, and I put it into Google Translate, which of course is like listening to or reading something which is written by a 4-year-old. And and luckily for me, her daughter said, oh, I think he is English. She said, well, he's probably using Google Translate. And then she said, oh, well, that's no good. I want to be able to communicate with this guy.
Right.
And so that's how kind of like how we sort of communicated. And I said, well, if you don't mind, I'll do it in English. So she was I could read Dutch, but she was Google translating all the crap that I was sending to her. And then she said,
it was all text, right? You weren't talking like
just it's all done through all done messaging on the app on the site,
right?
And then she said, well, it'd be great to talk. And then, of course, when I spoke to her, and she understood that I could at least communicate to a 7 or 8 year old's level what I would speak in touch to her. Then and we have so much in common anyway. Like stuff happened to me, happened to her, stuff with her kids, my kids. Very, 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 very much of a parallel life.
So does your Dutch have a cute British accent?
Yeah. Yeah, they always say
that's the selling point for David is his accent. So
Oh, the British accent,
me,
sure.
The thing that she tapped me on the fingers on Saturday when I went out to collect something, because the guy said to me, he said you've got a British accent. Oh, you got a bit of an accent. And I said to him, well, so have you, because all the Dutch got an accents for me. I mean, come on, that's not difficult. And then it said to me afterwards, that's not what he meant. He was trying to communicate with you. And then because the guy in the shop, the young guy, he said, well, yeah, actually, I'm German, and you're probably the only person who's ever noticed that.
Oh, a Nazi.
Okay, well,
I guess people in Amsterdam live everywhere. What? What's the problem, Vicky?
Yeah, so I hadn't noticed that he was German. I was actually making a joke. Right. But obviously, he's been living in Holland since he was very small, and had lost.
Now, when you learned he was German, did you do this really quick? Did you do this like
no,
that? Really? No. Okay, just checking.
Sorry, I just had inbuilt sympathy for him because, obviously, being born German and spending most of his life in Holland meant that he would have lost his sense of humor anyway.
That's true. Okay.
So there you go.
Very cool. And so now you can we say your partner's name, because Annette, and you've been together a while now, right?
Yeah, 5 years now. Yeah, 5 years.
Ooh, what is 5? Wood, paper, something like that?
Purgatory.
David's got no wood.
It's got 5 years. For Purgatory, I think 5 years.
Very nice. So congratulations.
Stephen probably knows. He's an old married man. What is the 5th anniversary?
We just celebrated our second wedding anniversary on Friday.
Second?
Friday,
what's second then?
Yeah,
do you know?
My apologies, Stephen, because I was going to say that to you on Friday. I was going to congratulate you and your good lady wife.
I think actually you have to congratulate Cheryl, not me, because being married to me is that's an event. So that's
we congratulate you because you married up. Yeah, exactly.
Wow, thank you very much.
You did well.
She did. Cheryl has used other words other than event, but there you go.
Cheryl pencils. She pencils me in once a month. I'm very excited about that. So, but she, for the being Jewish and she's Asian, for her anniversary, she just gets jewelry, so she can just lay there in single ships. Like, oh look at that. So and then when we're doing it, she's like, "Are you about through? Are you done?" I have things. So I'm like, "Okay."
Did you guys?
I've got things to do.
Yep.
You can't get married in a synagogue unless she converts, right?
Right. So we got married in Las Vegas, actually.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, we were. So here's what happened.
Isn't that one big giant synagogue anyway? Las Vegas.
Same thing.
Now it's all pot. Yeah, now it's all like dispensary.
So what happened is that we were dating when my mom was very sick. My mom passed, and the Chinese tradition is you either get married within 100 days of the death of the loved one, or you have to wait 1,000 days.
Yeah.
Right. And I was like, so we got 1,000 days. If it was 1,000 years, oh God, where were you? Anyway, so 1,000 days. And so we waited 87. And on the 87th day, we already knew. We said, we're going to do it. If we're going to do it, we're going to do it. Done. Who cares? Go. Okay. And so we went to Vegas and got married. It was very nice. It was a nice ceremony.
So was it a drive-in wedding or something?
No. We went. So it was during COVID, which was the best, because when we went there was no one at the courthouse. So like getting your license and everything done took about a minute. The lady says sometimes it takes a couple hours, and it's open 24/7, which is funny. And then she goes, "When would you like to do it?" We're like, "How about tomorrow?" And I said, "Great, we have everything open." It was like awesome. So we went like at 3:00, and one of Cheryl's friends came, and her son was there, and we did the wedding thing, and then that was it. And then we had our honeymoon in Vegas, and we've done some other trips, but yeah, so that was it. So it was a very nice thing.
With Cheryl's friend and her son, so everybody was like,
no. Yeah, it was so Cheryl. Well, most people don't know. I think we're married, Like she didn't want. She was just wanted to be very quiet and
Is she
private. Now everybody
embarrassed,
knows.
Stephen?
Yeah,
Is
I
she
would be embarrassed
embarrassed?
to marry me. Oh, of course. Who wouldn't be?
Right.
Like I said to her,
Probably
listen, we
cheating.
can invite my mistress and my girlfriend and my sugar baby. And she's like, no, it's a small, intimate wedding. They can't come. But her boyfriends came, and that was totally fine, I thought. But yeah, it was just it's fair, it's fair. So it was one of those things. So yeah, it was a nice time. And it was we good. And we stayed in Vegas a couple days. It was nice. Her son was there, so he got to be the best man, so to speak, and the ring bearer. And that was it. We took him out and got him drunk at a strip club. You know how it is. You got to do something with the
I had a
10-year-old.
friend. I had a friend that got married in Vegas during COVID, and they had the ceremony online for us to log in and watch.
Oh, that was cool. We didn't get that.
Yeah.
They didn't mention that to us, and the judge was
I
really
think it
sweet.
was at a casino. Yeah.
Oh, that's why.
Yeah. Well,
So yeah, they had the setup.
You have to have friends for that, though, Stephen, because people are interested to watch you get married.
Right. People have to know
Friends.
that you're getting married to log in, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Exactly.
So see, part of this is I have to look up the word friends. That would be the big thing. So I have like a handful, and even my handful, I invited a few people, and they're all over the world. So they're all like, dude, can you give us a little more notice than like, hey, I'm getting married in 6 hours? I'm like, no, you're my friend.
Right.
Get asked on
Well,
So they all said
I told you.
congratulations. I was like, I told you. You
At
said I
least
didn't
you-
tell you. I told you.
At least you invited them. That's something.
Right.
You know
But
what?
anyway,
That's how I look at it.
Anyway, we digress actually, because we were going to be talking about
Vicky.
about Vicky's photos.
Yeah, I feel like I've already talked about all of this on social intercourse, but
Yeah, but these people have never seen
Hey.
social
these are different.
intercourse.
So true,
So-
true.
No.
All right. So wait, before you
Ladies and
start,
gentlemen,
Vicky is a co-hostess of one of our other shows called Social
One of
Intercourse,
the
which I think airs
one of
every
the stars,
Tuesday,
Stephen.
unless you changed it. So you can see Vicky and Cheryl, not Vicky, Rachel, and Ranji. Yeah, right. Vicky, Rachel, and Ranji on Social Intercourse on Tuesday afternoons on our 2F Entertainment channel. So there you go. Anyway, I digress. Go ahead, Vicky. So you're going to talk about the men and their shirtless fish.
Yeah, well, we were just talking about how David gets dog pictures, and I said, well, in Texas, you get dead animal pictures.
Nice.
So they pose against their truck and their camo, and they're usually, there's a dead deer in the bed of the truck, or they're holding up their fish, or whatever other animal they've managed to kill, rabbits, whatever. And I got to the point, and I'm not a vegetarian or whatever, but I'm a bit of a bleeding heart, and I love animals. And the last thing that's going to attract me to you is how you kill them. So I actually had to put in my bio, please don't swipe right if you pose with a dead animal, or if you killed something. People too, I kind of draw the line at murdering people. So
I was going to say,
I put that in my bio. Do you think anybody reads the bio?
No, they don't. When you
They
say
just
murdering
swipe the
people,
needle.
now are you meaning like a serial killer, or are you meaning like murder? Or is it
No,
if
I
they
think
found the
one's probably
body?
enough.
Or
Yeah,
okay, I don't know.
One, yeah.
Because my friend asked me, and I said, listen, until they find the bodies, I'm nothing. I'm good. So that's how I look at it.
Yeah, yeah. That's just
so,
no.
but what's why? I mean, why would you stand there?
Why do we look at it that way? Because it's the law. Oh no, I'm sorry, asking Vicky. So.
I'm just thinking, I mean,
mentality, right?
Yeah.
What sort of imagery are you trying to portray then? That you're a cowboy, you're a macho man, you're a Texan.
Yes.
Or,
Look, I can provide for you. I don't know.
What, with a rabbit or a fish?
Gun. Yes.
You need more than one fish.
I don't understand because I don't like them, so I don't.
Right.
I don't message. I haven't had that conversation with them. I just.
But aren't some women attracted to men? Aren't some women I know women that like hunting. I know women that like fishing. So maybe what they're trying to find, in my opinion, a like-minded person, not a person that's like, say, Vicky wants to go to the opera and fine dining, and these people are like, I want to go rough it every weekend and go kill Bambi.
I mean,
so they're not going to be a match. So.
Yeah, I think you have a point. Although I think they're overwriting, just in a guess, is more a macho kind of thing, because they tend to like the little woman. They don't necessarily want their girlfriend to go out hunting with them. That's kind of like a dude's thing. But it's like, look at how raw I am, and I can take care of the little lady and whatever. And look at me, I'm so
Yeah, but you're not going to. There's something called. In Texas, we have something called in Texas, we have something called HEB, and you can go take care of the little women by going shopping. And then they have a mall where you buy gifts. So unless we have like a Holocaust, a nuclear one, and it wipes out everything, your bow and arrow, your archery and your fishing and hunting skills really isn't going to
Aren't
do
really a
much.
draw.
Yeah, it's not like we're living back in the 18th century where it's like, honey,
Well,
go to the
not
general
yet.
store.
Not yet.
Yeah.
Well, a couple weeks.
Wait,
You know what's worse though?
Huh?
The worst is the mirror selfies. Like
Oh yeah, when they
can't
do
mirror
find
selfies.
a single friend or
Yeah.
anyone to take a picture of you. You have to use your
The
mirror.
mirror.
And it's not even
Yeah.
like naked ones, because that's a whole other category. But like just to take a regular selfie, you've got to stand there with your camera and do the I love this. It's like, which is fine if you're showing your outfit out or you're sending photos to your friends or whatever. Oh, hey, look at me. I'm like, whatever. That's fine. But a dating app photo where you're trying to attract the ladies and you've got a dirty mirror and you're like, you don't have any friends that could take a photo of you. Yeah, that's a no for me too. So get a friend. And if you have a friend, don't pose with a bunch of other dudes and put that as your profile picture.
Can I tell you something? A friend showed me like about 20 years ago, some girl that was, I guess, on Match. And he was like, which one do you think she is? I'm like, I'm sorry, what? Every one of her photos was either 2 girls or 4 girls or whatever. I'm like, well, let's figure it out by figuring out which one she's always in. And it was like, I was like Inspector Clouseau. I was like our Perot, if you will, from Agatha Christie. And I'm just like, this is too much work. And I was like, I don't know. This one looks like this. Oh, look, I think she dyed her hair. I'm like, I don't know. I was like, dude, just ask her for a picture.
Eventually, they're going to see you, so you might want to just start out that way.
Yeah, that's how.
Unless, of course, her profile name was like multiple choice, in which case you could choose any one of what
you are dating the group. That's why.
That's true.
Oh, yeah, whichever one. Everyone's got everyone's can make it that night. Trucks up. Hey, I'm number 3 on multiple choice. Am I okay? Oh yeah.
That's not a bad
now,
idea.
do people really use dating apps a lot? And the reason I ask is there's an article in the Financial Times about Bumble. I like your merch, by the way, Vicky.
Really?
Show everybody your merch. There's merch, everybody. Go down below. You can buy merch. Yeah. Anyway, look at that.
Social intercourse. Backwards, but anyway.
There you go. That's fine. It looks
fine.
Anyway, the people, Bumble said that they're going to start seeing a big surge. So are people still using dating apps in this? I mean, is it people still don't go out and meet people the old-fashioned way? At a bar, you club them over the head and drag them home, but they don't do that anymore.
I think it's age. I think it's age related. I mean, it's funny because I talk to my kids about it when they were both single. And they said, "Well, no, we don't do that. Old people do that." I said, "What, really?" I mean, you go to a really crowded bar.
Old people use the
apps. Yeah.
Really? Because I have friends that range from like 21 to 121, and half of them are on apps. I say acquaintances, they're not really friends. Half of them are on apps, and half of them just prefer to meet people in the real world. So I'm
but the problem is that meeting people in the real world, isn't it? That's the issue. Because it's the same with me. I mean, I was after my divorce and everything, what was I, 59, I think. So where does that leave me? To go and look for some lady sitting in a bar on her own who's roughly my age?
No, you go to university and you pick up a 20-year-old. Everybody knows that.
So and all the issues that go with that, so just think, right.
There's no issues.
Yeah.
Well, like my I'm not implying any age here, but I'm just this is my reference because my parents were married until they died. So I don't have that. But my grandfather met his girlfriend at church. And I think a lot of people used to meet through social organizations like church or like, some kind of
social intercourse.
Elks or something. Yeah, or some kind of like social club. And they would meet each other that way. We don't have that anymore. So what's replacing that? Well, the internet and stuff like that. Because you can't go up to somebody sitting at a park bench because they're going to think you're trying to either bring them to the cult or you're going to stab them or something. So it's kind of hard to approach unless you're at a bar and then everyone's either drunk or I don't know how many times I have been hit on by married guys at clubs. So you don't even know. I mean, you don't know if they're married anyway. I mean, they're going to lie, but that's a whole different thing.
That's a whole nother discussion.
But what has replaced it? And I actually haven't used my app in a long time, but I still have it. Okay. So like when I want to stick my foot back in the pool, but it's interesting. I just saw a subreddit in Korea where they have these things called hunting bars. They've had those forever, where there's specific bars where you go to meet people and get roofied and that.
It's not where you take your fish or your rabbits or your.
Not where you take your fish. It's a different kind of hunting.
I just like the way I like the way she ends this. She goes, you know, you go to a hunting bar where you meet people, get roofied. You know, the usual. It's a Saturday night. So, yeah, it's
So
nice.
many roofies over there. Yeah, I have to
Okay.
remember to bring my testing strips. But anyway, so the latest thing now is you turn on your AirDrop on your iPhone, and it only works for iPhone, which in the country of Samsung is interesting as well. But if you've got an iPhone and you go to these hunting bars, people come in and they AirDrop their photos to everybody in the bar that has their AirDrop open.
Okay.
And you can look and see which guys in the bar you like, or girls, or whatever. Well, it's Korea, opposite sex, because so you look through and see which ones you like, and then you can approach each other in the bar. So it's kind of like cutting. It's kind of like doing the app just in the bar, I guess, kind of thing.
So it's but it's even more distance, isn't it? I mean, before you just go into somewhere and you start talking to people.
Right.
Now
That's what I said to you. I said,
you go in with your phone. Yeah, you just go in with your phone.
It'd be no different than using an app.
They said, oh, well, they're afraid of rejection. They're afraid of getting rejected. So at least they know ahead of time whether you. I was like, well, one party's going to know, but the other party won't until you meet. So you can still get rejected.
It's part of the gig, because you know when you're going through. So I like her. I like her profile. I like how she looks like. I like her profile. Right, and you send out all these things, and if you're lucky, you just get one that comes back and says, well, basically fuck off, and the rest will just ignore you. Right. And thus you go on.
And you have the AirDrop. But they said they attached their socials to it. So they attached like their Instagrams. But then while you're at the bar, you have to go and look at their Instagram and then message them through that. Just sounds
so here this has got to be back in the late 80s. There was a bar
1880s.
The 1880s back in Fort Lauderdale. It was called Area Code 305. And what they did is every table had a phone, and every phone had an area code. So if you saw someone at the table you liked, you would pick up the phone and you would call them. And you could speak to them, and then you'd be like, "Hey, I'm at area code 212," and the girl can look and go, "That's nice." Click, or like, "Oh, that's really cool." You know, like,
I kind of like this.
Yeah, so that was very cool. That place is packed every night. It was an awesome place.
A twist on speed dating. Have you guys done speed dating or not?
Yes, I've not done it, but I know what you're talking about. Yeah, I know what you're talking. I think it's a twist on speed dating, but you would go there and have dinner, lunch. You could dance. Sometimes they'd have a show. But the nice thing is that you could call someone, and when they picked up the phone, you could talk to them, and then you'd be like, "So, what area code are you?" And they would tell you, and you had the opportunity to go yes or no. Like if it was like, "Oh no, thank you for the call," you could hang up, and then people could call again. And I thought that was very, very cool. I just thought it was sort of a nice way that you can, for lack of a better term, hit on somebody without being ultra aggressive or ultra anything. It was sort of like, "Hi, I'm Joe Schmo. What do you think?" And you could look at them and go, "Oh, yeah."
And you can reject them without having to do it to their face.
Right.
Yeah, and you're not actually hitting on anybody, are you? Because you must all step into that environment knowing what the rules are.
Yeah,
you know, if you're lucky, you get a couple of calls.
Right.
You know, if you're lucky, you can make a couple of calls. And
Virgin Atlantic or Virgin America had that. I was on a flight once from here to LA or San Francisco, I forget, and some girl sent me a drink and a message that says, "I think you're cute," and I said, "Thanks." And I said to the flight attendant, I was like, "Well, how do I respond back?" So she's like telling me, and she goes, she's hiding. Whoever sent this to you, you can hide your seat. So I didn't get a seat. She's like, "Oh," and I was like, "This is killing." So when we finally got off the plane, she came up and said hello, and I was like, "Oh, thank you," like type of thing. It was just very. I thought that was cool.
That's sweet.
Yeah, I don't know if they still do that, but it was interesting. So,
is this when you were single or when you were?
I was yes, I was single at that time. Yeah.
So, but it didn't get her a date with you, right? It just.
I didn't ask because I was literally got off the plane. I had to get, my driver was there. I had to get to a meeting. I was like, my mind was not in, like if she would have said like, "I'm in seat," you know, I was in 2A or whatever. And she would have said, "I'm in 13B. I could have at least gone high and talked to her on the flight. Or she would have come on. I had more time, but when I'm in business mode, the last thing I'm thinking about is like, do I want to go to dinner with you? I have 8,000 other things on my mind. On the plane, I don't care. The plane, my phone is off. I'm just enjoying my life. But here's what's really weird.
Interesting. Okay.
I found when I'm married that single women or married women, I guess, hit on married men quite a bit. Like I have said to flight attendants, I've said they'll say, "Oh, yeah, but do you want my card?" And I'll be like, "No, I'm married," and they'll go, "I know, because I wear my ring." And I'm like, "Yeah,
Right.
but no, that doesn't work. It doesn't work for me." When you're
Interesting. Is
like,
it because it's safe or because
I think they don't
they're
want a
bored with their
I
commitment.
think
Probably,
I
I
think
think
it's
Ah,
a
it's safe. They don't want a commitment, and they're figuring, listen, it's some fun, and then it's done.
mhm.
It's not like if
Right.
he's
yeah,
a single guy and
but
he likes me,
I
he's going to
think
be like,
it's
"When do you want to see me again, Dave?"
I think it's a vibe thing as well. You give
Maybe.
off a different vibe. It's because if you it maybe it's the smell of desperation or the air of desperation. You know,
I'm not
you
that.
know,
I wasn't
I
desperate when I was single. I don't.
See,
I
I
no,
mean,
didn't
I
care
can
when I
come
was
off
single.
that way, but I'm really not. Like,
Yeah.
I don't,
well, I
does
must
that
admit the
sound,
first
does
couple of
that sound
years
fake?
that I suffered from terrible loneliness.
Right.
And I had a busy job and I had my kids, but like I would come home and the silence, the emptiness would scream at me, and it was driving me crazy, and I just wanted
Oh,
just to come home and say, "Oh, did you see this?" Or come home and listen to the violins playing. Thank you, Stephen.
You're
Um,
welcome.
I love what I love about you is your empathy more than anything.
Yeah,
I
I
was gonna
do.
say this is why people don't share
Um,
on this show.
yeah, why don't you? I will show the show.
You can't
So
share your
yeah,
feelings.
so I think that after a couple of years, I think maybe that air, or literally
Mm.
that physical smell of desperation, dissipates, and
It came
But
you're a little
I
across.
bit
see
better.
when I was single, I never felt like that. If I would come home alone and be like, "Yeah, it's fine." I mean, like I would read you. I just
I
find stuff
like
to
being
occupy. I've never.
alone.
I
That,
don't. I go to listen. I travel so much for business when I first started, and even today,
mm,
that I do dinners by myself. I don't care. I got to a point where, like, in the beginning, I was like, dinner by myself. I didn't like that would freak me out, and now I'm like, I don't give a shit. Like I'll go. I can go to a
yeah,
movie
yeah,
theater. I can do anything by myself. It's
Yeah.
always you just
However,
yeah.
I did. Yeah,
so.
I could agree, Stephen, because I was worked as a rep for years in sales, and I'd go to shows or you'd be
Mhm.
on the road. I'd leave on a Monday morning and come back on a Thursday night to, so
Mhm.
that wasn't so much of an issue, and you kind of get used to it,
Yep.
and but it was the fact that I'd had this intimate relationship with various degrees of niceness for 30 years, and all of a sudden it
Mhm.
stops. So that was
Right.
a real
Yeah. There's
that
a
was
difference
a
between being
physical
alone
it
and
was a
loneliness.
yeah,
Yeah.
it was a physical shock
Yeah.
that
Yeah. Sure.
I came in with all the stuff that I would have shared before and had no
Right.
opportunity to share it.
Gotcha.
And
Yeah.
I
I'm not a big
that
understand
I
that for
sharer.
felt
sure. You
yeah.
want to know at the end of the day that, like, I remember when I was living in Los Angeles, I had a 2-story apartment. And I was on my phone like an idiot, and I was coming down the stairs and I fell. And I missed the bottom stair because I was on my phone. And
Right.
I fell. And I remember as I was falling, I was like, oh shit, this is gonna be bad. Like, time slowed down, and I knew
Right.
that I was gonna
Yeah.
break something or hurt something. And I was laying there on the floor. I was like, okay, no one's gonna find my body for
My God.
days. I can't move. I'm just laying here. And at that point, I think that you're like, okay, this is how I go out, because no one's gonna care, or no one's gonna care to come check on me or whatever. Excuse me. So it's kind of funny. I think at that point,
That's not such a crazy thing. I mean, I had that
right?
exactly the same as well. You just think, I mean, there was a
It'd be nice if
stage
someone
very
cared if I
early.
was dead. Yeah.
The last person I would speak to would be like the tram driver when I got off the tram on a Friday afternoon, or I'd go into the supermarket and speak to somebody who was totally disinterested at 16
Right.
or 17, totally disinterested in an old fart like me. And that would be the last piece of communication with anybody some weekends, if my kids weren't with me, till the Monday morning when I got back on the tram.
That's
And
bliss.
and that's
That's just bliss.
I mean,
Here's the difference though, guys. I think I understand what Steven's saying too, because I'm an introvert, and there's weekends where I don't want to talk to anybody. I just want to have quiet and don't talk to me. And But I think it's the difference is there's a choice, right? If you choose to have alone time rather than having no choice about being alone all the time, it's all a mental state of whether it's your choice or it's not. That whether you're miserable about it
like
or
I said,
happy
I mean,
about it, right?
it got better, but like I say, because people used to say to me, "What's the worst thing about being alone?" And I said, "Well, the screaming silence, because you have a busy
for me,
house
that's
with
like
kids."
cigar. That's cigar time.
Right.
Like
Yeah,
even yesterday,
it is.
we came
It's
back from
interesting.
something,
now.
and I was like, I'm going outside. I'm having a cigar and a scotch. See you in 2 hours, and I'm in my happy place. And everybody knows it. It's sort of like, so I get my solitude. I get my sound of silence, as Simon and
But
Garfunkel
that's
would
your
sing.
choice because you have a family that'll be there when you're done with your alone time, right? It's
Oh, will
not
they?
like
Oh yes, oh they will.
you paid them, remember?
That's right. They get their
They're
weekly check. I
financially
forgot.
obligated to be there when you get
Pay
done.
that. That's right. That's right. They have a contract. They have to be there. I forgot. Yes, you're correct. So,
But like David, he's alone all weekend.
right.
After his 2 hours, he still has another,
Right. And when you
22
were
to
alone on
go.
weekend, were you schizophrenic? Did you used to say, "I'm alone"? No, I'm not. Did you do that, or were you okay? Or
No. I used to be schizophrenic, but now we both agree as any one of us. So
okay, good. I like that. So
one
that's
killed the other one. Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
So that's
No, but it's
different.
interesting
Now,
because you read. I mean, I think it was just after the Christmas or New Year, at the beginning of this year, there was a big hoo-ha in the UK press because they'd found this woman in her house. She'd been dead for a year, and
Like
so
Bridget Jones.
nobody knew about her. The people who
very
lived
clean.
opposite her, and it wasn't until something happened. I think there was a big leakage or something, and somebody had to get into the apartment.
Would she turn the air down to 50 or something? Because I mean, the smell at some point would come through the apartment.
Well, yeah, but not necessarily. These are concrete apartments, and she was on the ground floor. They just found her almost sort of mummified in bed. So, and people were shocked at that. So, oh wow. But I was always talking to her, said the neighbours. Well, obviously not.
They were always talking to her for a year.
For a year.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I had a cat at the time too, and they say that cats will eat their owners. when you die and they're starving to death, they'll eat your face.
Nice.
You're hungry.
To look forward to. If you later after the show,
dogs won't.
Cat.
Dogs will sit there and die with you, but cats are like.
I know. Can I tell you, my dog would grab the car keys and be like, "I gotta go find somewhere else to live. I'm out of here."
Really?
So, my dog is loyal to whoever has food in their hand that day.
That's the thing. Here's a dilemma for if you maroon somewhere and there's just two of you and one of you dies and there's nothing to eat. Where does that take you?
Well, you do what they did when the soccer team crashed in the Andes. You have to become a cannibal.
Yeah.
You gotta survive. It is what it is.
Yeah.
I mean,
they would want me to eat them.
Yeah, right. They would beg after spending time with Vicky alone. You'd be like, "Please just kill me."
Right, exactly. I'll die first.
I'll die first, just so you can eat me. So no, but that's an interesting thing because I know in the Andes, I read the book and I watched the several movies about it, and it was interesting because in the beginning they were all like, "No, we can't do this," and then like they all started to like, "We're gonna die," and they're like, the guy's like, "Please don't eat my wife," and the guys are like, "Sorry," like then you die, type of thing. It was like that's a tough choice. It's like that's, but if it's and here's the thing, we're all gonna die someday. So the question is, do you just want to die on the mountain, or do you want to die, say, 50 years from the mountain? So they ate what they had to do. The people that didn't make it, and it is what it is. Most of these people that are watching the show don't even have a clue about the soccer team crashing in the Andes and
no, well, they can Google that.
Other stuff.
They can Google that. But I mean, it's just
I
mean, we don't know, do we? We don't know. You get glimpses of it when you see what's happening in war zones, but you only get a glimpse of how what desperation will do. When survival clicks in, you forget all the first thing you're going to do on your phone is delete all your dating apps, and so, gone.
I've thought about that too. I've thought about what stuff.
But nobody can get into your, remember, nobody can get into your phone unless they have your code when you pass away. Now there's a service now. and I forgot where I read it. It said that you should have like a digital will, so to speak. So if you die,
Yeah.
someone can get into your phone. And I'm thinking, you know,
Interesting.
if my wife
will.
passes, I don't really need to get into her phone. You know what I mean? Like, I don't need to see what she says, and I don't care. Like, I know where the stuff is. Same for me. Like, what do you need to see? There's nothing in my phone that's exciting. It's all business shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like,
Yeah.
unless you want to go buy me scotch when I'm dead or cigars, I got all those apps.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's and the stuff for the show. But that's it, right? So to me, it's
your phone could contain the code to your digital wallet, Stephen. Well, all those millions are all tucked away in your crypto
I don't have
wallet.
it. Just so we're clear, I don't have one of those, and all the millions are tucked away safely in a bank that shall be nameless, so, where they belong, in the Caribbean and island that I own. So.
Yeah. When my mom died, I had her phone and her bank accounts and everything, but I just pulled out the SIM card and recycled it. It didn't matter. Yeah, I just same.
My mom's phone I kept. Only because I joked with her, she wanted an iPhone. It was the iPhone, whatever, 10 or something. I said, you can I went through all this stuff. So she used it a little bit. And then it became a
My mom played solitaire. That was it. She would text
that's
me,
what my mom did.
And she played solitaire. That was all the iPhone was.
And then if I FaceTimed her, I would say, hold the phone like this so I can see you. And then she would be like, the phone would be like this. Like, I'm like, I see your ear. Right. I'm like, can you put the phone like this? Yeah. Okay. What are you saying? I'm like, and then she'd look and go, oh, you're on the phone. I'm like, yes, I know. So, what do you do? And she was like 90 something, but she had her little flip phone first and all these, and she wanted an iPhone, and I got her paperweight. I said, I'm going to buy you $1,000 paperweight. And she'd be like, and she laughed. And then it would ring sometimes, and she'd be like, I thought the phone was ringing, but I wasn't sure. I said, when it lit up, and you saw my picture on it, what did that tell you? She goes, oh, I thought it was just showing me your picture. I'm like, okay. So, so like all her nieces and nephews would call, and her friends. And after a while, she got better at it. The email on the phone, forget it. She would use the laptop we got her. And it was just to watch my mom on the phone. If I would have videoed that, American Funniest Videos, I would have won every year. So, but it is what it is. So
you touched on flip phones. I'd love to have my old flip phone back. I had a Shell.
There's a Samsung.
There is, but I had to take out a mortgage in order to buy one.
I know.
So
I find that annoying. I don't like extra steps. No, flip phones. I don't. Why do I have to unflip it?
Because it's Star Trek. It's a Star Trek thing. It's the Star Trek.
No, it was a communicator. If it made the sound when I did that, then
but you can.
When you're going to be in Korea, you go to Samsung. You go, I've got $1 billion idea for you. Get your flip phones to go. There you go.
Yeah, I'm sure you can get it to do it because you can. You as soon as you start your phone up, it'll make a noise, so you can get the communicator noise put on it.
Maybe
there we go.
Yeah,
that'll be kind of fun. Hey guys, time is almost coming to an end. So,
darn! We can talk about art.
We can talk about art.
Oh yeah, okay. Yeah. Well, we've got a couple of clips from Adam's art on the show. So
do we really? Let's show before we show Adam's art. Before we show Adam's art on the show, and Adam, we're sorry you couldn't make it today.
We'll send flowers.
So Vicky was the co-host for the day, the stepping host. Thank you, Vicky. Next Monday. We won't do it live now, but next Monday we have an interview with a dominatrix. So for you people that are interested in what a dominatrix really does and what it means, I think Vicky's going to be on that show. I think Nusha's going to be on that show. So that'll be interesting from their perspective. And then you have David and I. So the show is going to go downhill very quickly. But anyway, so she'll be on the show. Yeah, she'll keep us in line. She'll be here next Monday, and we'll probably put the show out Monday late afternoon, because we don't want the kids to watch. And then there you go. That's that'll be an 18+ show. So there you go for the people that are interested in that. So let's show some of Adam's art since it is an art show. And Adam, I guess we'll see when we see it.
He sent us stuff a couple of weeks ago. Sent me stuff a couple of weeks ago on a show that I couldn't make, so we didn't show it. These are two clips, 20-second clips. The first one's called "Sad One," and just because his imagination was running away with him. The second one's called "Sad 2." So
well, very creative.
So it is. So this is "Sad One." Sad One. We'll run it twice so we can have a little bit of a short discussion in between.
Sure. I don't think you need to run it again. I got it. So plus, I think, I think YouTube may have a heart attack if you run it again. So
yeah, I think that's going to be my new profile picture.
I like that. Can I tell you, that is very cool. That is very ominous looking. And the girl, she's wearing a bikini with the. I think that is very, very cool. I like that.
Okay, and the eye was steady as the head moved.
Yeah,
so the eye didn't move.
Yeah. So let's go to sad 2.
That one is awesome. I like that. I like 1, but 2, I feel like I'm at the optometrist all of a sudden. 2 better.
Better 1, better 2.
But 1 is very cool, but 2 is just like powerful, in my opinion. Vicky's the artist. Ask her.
No, I agree. I like 2 as well.
Okay, so let's just run 2 again, and so everybody have a chance to look. It's only 20 seconds. Here we go.
That's okay. That is absolutely
2 hands are under.
Yeah, that is very cool.
Adam does great stuff. Yeah, it's so Adam that, really. I mean, it's a pity we didn't have him on the show because we'd spend another hour telling us about what it was all about.
I know.
And which we really love. But let's hope he hasn't. He has nothing. Nothing drastic has happened to him. We hope
it's probably either A, they're out in the middle of nowhere and he hasn't cell reception, or B, stuck downtown. It's not a big deal. He'll be with us in a week or 2 and he'll come back and we'll hear all about why he wasn't here. But the good thing is we got to show his art and talk about some cool stuff on the show, not like his cool stuff about philosophy and life, and talk about dating apps. That's our level.
That's part of life.
But that's philosophical.
It's something, all right. I'll tell you.
Because the burning question is, do I show dead meat? Yes or no? That's the burning question, is it not?
Oh,
if it was a steak, that'd be a different issue. It's the carcass that I don't like.
The carcass.
I mean, yes, I'm a hypocrite. I do eat meat and whatever. I don't want to know where it comes from. I'm willfully ignorant.
Supermarket.
It comes from the supermarket. Yeah, I don't want to.
In Texas, it comes from HEB, Vicky. That's where it comes
from. When I lived in California and in Texas, I drive by these cows and I have eye contact, and I don't want to know that I've murdered them to eat them. I need an in between step. So please don't show me the dead body. That's
too funny. Now, Vicky, you have something before we leave. Vicky has something coming up, maybe next month or in January. Is that your travel vlog stuff going on? Kind of?
Yes. Yes. I will have some iteration of a show or shorts, vlog, something for travel and lifestyle stuff. Help with travel things.
And she's going to Korea, everybody, for 3 or 4 months because she's trying to get away from Rachel and Ranji. But so very interesting.
I'm expanding the dating pool, Stephen. We talked about this.
That's right. She's looking for a short husband. So if you're in Korea and you see this, Vicky will be there February 1st. What's the bar where they roofie you? The hunting bar.
The hunting bars.
Go be at a hunting bar. You can roofie Vicky. She's up for it. She'll sign the waiver. Make your reservations now. Book in advance. So it'll be great.
Oh Lord!
So let's get this straight. Then you're going for a short period of time to look for a short husband. Is that correct?
Yes.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, for the people in America, have a wonderful Thanksgiving, which is on Thursday. For everybody in the rest of the world, have a wonderful rest of your week. Thank you for watching.
We don't care about Thanksgiving.
That's true. Yes. Thank you for listening and or watching, depending on where you get your podcasts, which you can get everywhere, and on YouTube if you saw us there. Don't forget the merch. And really, that's it, everybody. Have a wonderful thing. We'll talk to you all later. There you go. David, take us home.
Bye-bye, everyone.